This is SBS World News with Virginia Langeberg.
Good evening. For the first time in nearly 400 days, Australians can freely travel to New Zealand after the Trans-Tasman bubble officially opened at midnight. There were heartwarming scenes of delight and relief at airports across both countries as loved ones reunited for the first time in over a year. The bubble's opening marking a significant step for the aviation and tourism industries, both here and across the Tasman. Australia should prepare for an overhaul of the vaccine rollout after the Prime Minister held his first national cabinet with state leaders since the bi-weekly sessions were announced. The leaders held initial talks about fast-tracking vaccinations for people above the age of 50, a plan that could be signed off later this week. In Western Australia, 3 health workers have had to enter self-quarantine after a COVID safety breach. Staff from the Royal Perth Hospital unknowingly entered the same lift an infected patient had been in just minutes before. The service lift was not appropriately cordoned off for the captain of the MV Aqua Genie, who was being transferred to the intensive care unit on Saturday. The trio were not wearing any PPE, but 2 were fully vaccinated, while the other has received their first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. The coronavirus crisis is deepening, with India hitting yet another record for daily cases. Resources are stretched to breaking point and case numbers show no signs of slowing. India alone is responsible for 1/3 of daily global infections. Across the country, 1 in 6 coronavirus tests have come back positive in the past 24 hours. In response, Delhi has tonight been ordered into a 6-day lockdown.
SBS World News.
In a potential blow to its prospects of an Australian travel bubble, Fiji has ordered many of its residents into lockdown over concerns of a local COVID-19 transmission. It's the first community transmission the Pacific Island nation has recorded in a year. The government has enforced a 24-hour lockdown in Nadi and Lautoka, where 330 people have come into contact with the infectious person. Coming up, the federal government announces a royal commission into veteran suicides. The federal government has announced a royal commission into veteran suicides after months of pressure from the veteran community. Prime Minister Scott Morrison says he's listened and that he hopes it will begin the healing process when the commission begins later this year.
Julianne Finney's memories of her son have empowered her to spearhead a national campaign. Pablo Vinales, SBS World News.
And if this story has raised issues for you or someone you know, you can get support from Lifeline at any time on 13 11 14. Jailed Kremlin critic Alexei Navalny, who is in the 3rd week of a hunger strike, has been admitted to a prison hospital. It comes as Moscow labels a nationwide protest planned for Wednesday in support of the 44-year-old as illegal.
Outside a rough prison east of Moscow, growing urgency among doctors supporting Alexei Navalny.
Let's check the finance figures now, and by the close, the 200 was up 0.03%. The banks were mostly higher. Sims was the best performer. Medibank finished steady as it appointed Chief Customer Officer David Koshka as its new CEO. Markets in Europe were mixed at the start of the trading day, and $1 Australian is buying 77.44 US cents. 2 men in the US have died after a Tesla vehicle crashed into a tree. Police say no one was driving the electric car when the accident happened.
The aftermath of a fiery crash in Houston, Texas.
A plan by 12 of the world's biggest football clubs to launch a new European Super League has been condemned by the sport's various governing bodies. Politicians, former players and supporters have also expressed their opposition to the newly proposed competition. Tottenham has sacked coach Jose Mourinho less than a week before the English League Cup final. Mourinho had been in charge at the North London club for only 17 months. Spurs are currently 7th in the Premier League and have picked up only 2 points from their past 3 games. Coming up, the weather and a new frontier, NASA's big breakthrough on Mars. To the weather now, and in the major centres, showers clearing in Adelaide, sunny in Brisbane, showers in Hobart, partly cloudy in Perth and the same for Canberra and Sydney, a cold change with wind and rain in Melbourne. Looking further afield, windy in Auckland, thunder in Samoa, partly cloudy in Noumea. In Southeast Asia, thunder in Bangkok, overcast in Jakarta and storms for Phnom Penh. Further north, overcast in Beijing, Hong Kong and Manila, sunny skies in Seoul. Heading west, overcast in Baghdad, sunny in Beirut, partly cloudy in Mumbai. To Europe, cloudy in Berlin, a few showers in London and Paris and sunny in Stockholm. In Africa, overcast in Cairo, sunny in Johannesburg, thunder in Lagos. In South America, a few showers in Bogota, sunny in Caracas, partly cloudy in Lima. And for North America, sunshine for New York, fine in Los Angeles, showers in Miami and sunny in Mexico City. NASA has made history with a helicopter flying over the surface of Mars. It's the first ever flight to be powered by an aircraft on another planet. The small helicopter, named Ingenuity, will undertake a 31-day experimental trip aiming to expand future opportunities to explore the red planet.
We've really scoured this area. We looked at every little rock and pebble within that airfield and measured it before we finally were comfortable saying, yes, this is going to be our home base for the helicopter.
The Mars rover will observe the test flights from a distance before pursuing its own mission, hunting for signs of Martian life. And that's the world this Monday. The SBS News website has all the latest stories, and you can get news anywhere, anytime with the SBS News app. I'm Virginia Langeberg.